I wanted to talk to you about another scanner that, or let's say a technique, which is we want to find the biggest bulls, running with the bulls, running with the biggest bulls. And we're going to use a scanner called Tom's Movers. So that's what, whoa, that was too fast. I got a reason to show you this slide. So we want to, here's the thing. Big bulls run harder in a bullish market. So the idea would be to find a bullish market, one that's rising with great enthusiasm, and then find the stocks that are running with even greater enthusiasms. And the biggest bulls are outperforming the bullish of bullish markets. And guess what? The Qs are extraordinarily bullish at the moment. So here's, it's really about top-down analysis, finding the most bullish market, and then finding the stocks in that. In this case, it's going to be a sector because we're going to go after the Qs. So the tech sector, find stocks that are outperforming even the Qs. And remember, the Qs are off to the freaking races, man. I mean, look, we looked at that chart earlier. This is the actual Qs. Qs have set another high today. Qs don't have any, are showing no signs of stopping. So wouldn't it be cool to find a stock that's even more bullish than this extraordinarily bullish market? Now, because the Qs is mostly tech, it's a tech, heavy tech weighted market index, then we're going to go after the Qs and we're going to see a lot of tech stocks that come up in this scanner. So here's the scanner you can use. It's called Tom's Movers, and the defaults will be, you know, penny plus weekly, that's everything. And one of the things this scanner does is it correlates and uses something called beta. Beta is how a stock is, the volatility of a stock compared to usually a market index. And so what this allows us to do is get a ranking where we can see, well, is this stock even more bullish than the SPYs in this case? Now we're going to use the Qs, but this is really a nice little scanner. I've been saving it, and I think now's the time to go after it. So let's hop in the scanner and go searching. Okay. Let me get my zoom back. There we go. I'm going to go to stocks, stock rankers, Tom's Movers. All right. If you want help, click the help button and it will walk you through exactly what this is doing. So it's looking for the biggest movers over a 7-day period. And it's going to say how well these stocks are performing, minimum of 1% move over the last 7 days. And then it's going to compare it against the market index. So what I want to do instead of the penny plus is I'm going to come up here and say, well, I only want the NASDAQ stocks. These are the 100 biggest NASDAQ companies. This is where all the power is. A lot of AI stocks, tech stocks in this list. And then I want to correlate with the Qs. And then I hit search. And then within seconds, here's what we have. So we have Microsoft on the top of the list. You can pull up the stock chart. Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and tell you that this is a bullish stock. Good God. Oh my God, that's a bullish company. All of these are Advanced Micro Devices, tech stock. It's pulled back a bit. I think I like this one better because it's tricky to know when Microsoft might take a break. It takes some breaks. It just took one though. And now it's running up above these. Let's look at the live chart on Microsoft. Yeah, just set another high today. 340 is next resistance. So we could maybe sell a credit spread on this underneath, but Microsoft is one of many. So that's one of the things I want to see is there a really solid support level that has been recently formed? Here, 115 on Advanced Micro Devices would be interesting. Now, Apple is on the list as well. Oh my gosh, look at Apple. Apple's now above 180. Let's see what it is right now. I bet it's up because the NASDAQ's up. Apple's a big part of the NASDAQ. Wow. Apple's 180, 380, approaching 135. Apple would be a great bullish stock. It's a great bullish stock. It's now above 175 resistance. It's been there for over a week now. Apple's got further upside, it looks like. So that's a good one as well. All of these are good. Now, here, this last column here, it's going to show you the beta with the Qs. So what does that mean? The higher this number, if it's at 1, it means that the stock is correlated and moving exactly with the Qs. But if we click that button there, DocuSign is outperforming the Qs. So that's what this thing is, this beta column. The higher the number, if it's above 1, it means the stock is outperforming the overall market, or no, the Qs in this case. And so although this doesn't look like a super bullish stock, it has been. And this is the other thing I forgot to mention is this is over a 7-day period now. All right, so over 7 days, this is what it's referring to. So over the last 7 days, DocuSign has outperformed the Qs, actually almost moved up twice as much. Marvel, another tech stock. Now this one's kind of cool. It's got earnings, it's gapped up, it's got some support here. Let's see what the Marvel looks like in a live market. A little suspicious. I'm not sure this level is going to hold. It did try to make a new high. It's now flirting with the low of this day. We break below here, we could see filling the gap in this case. I'm not even going to check the news. The news is obviously good. They probably got AI in their DocuSign service. I actually use DocuSign, but I'm a little bit leery of that one. But forget about all that. Why don't we just run these through the scanner? So looking at these numbers here, I'm going to take us down to, let's just take the top 40. Now, although IDXX has moved roughly the same as the Qs over the last 7 days, we're still going to take it. So that's the 40th one in the list. And I'm going to add those 40 stocks, this DocuSign all the way down through IDEX Laboratories, and I'm going to save them in my stock list by clicking replace. And then I go let the scanners do what the scanners do. Single strategy. You can come in here and say, well, you know what? I'm going to trade some calls. You could come in here, say, all right, where's my stock list? There it is. Find call trades on these big bulls that have the lowest percent to double, meaning find call options where the stock doesn't have to go up that much to double our money. No, I'm not a big call buyer in this way. I like credit spreads, but here's one on the top of the list on Apple. So if you are of the opinion that this momentum is going to keep going, you could buy a call option on Apple. And this would be the Apple July 21st. What's that? That's about a 6-week trade, 185 call. And this will double if the stock moves 5%. Microsoft's on the list as well. So if you are a directional trader with calls, or even call spreads for that matter, you can take this list and go after these stocks. The other one you might try out is vertical spreads here. These are debit spreads. Take my stock list here. And it's going to look for 15 to 46 day options. It's also going to look to where the 10-day average has just crossed above the 16 over the last 3 days. That is a bullish moving average cross. So it does a little bit more technical analysis for you. And then on the top of the list, Airbnb. Let's take a look at Airbnb. Yum. I like that one. Let's look at the 10 and 16 day. I don't see it right here. All right, so here's the 10-day average. The one that's moving the fastest is the shorter average. So the purple line is the 10-day, the blue line is the 16-day, and we got our bullish cross there. And obviously Airbnb is on the rise. I like this for a credit spread at 105. Maybe we'll do that too. So those are things you can do. What I like to do here I want to keep our string going is put credit spreads. You can do whatever you want. You can do all sorts of strategies here. I'm going to go after short-term credit spreads. And I want my stock list. And let's see what the scanner gives us. And look what's on the top of the list here. Meta. What's Meta doing right now? Well, let's take a look at Friday's action. Just, you know, crazy, crazy bullish stock. And then if I look at Meta Live, yeah, it's come down a little bit, but maybe that's actually good. Let it have a breather coming down a bit. And now we could sell a credit spread on this one. It's showing 265. Datadog. Let's see here. 265 is right about here. I would maybe consider this at 260. I do think it hasn't really had much of a pullback. It's in blue skies. It's a little more tricky to find support levels. In this case, I can see here over this last correction, it came down about 10 points. So 260 would be as close as I'd get, but maybe even better, 250 would be a decent credit spread on this one. Datadog. Now, I actually like this one better. Why? Well, 95 is mega strong resistance, super ceiling. And then on Friday, the stock gapped up. Let's go take a look at a live chart on Datadog. Yeah, is the stock has come down towards 95, and now we have a little hammer pattern. Looks like this thing wants to keep rising. Now, I would say on this one that 92.50 would be a really nice support level, maybe a bit lower. So I'm going to look at this one. I like all of these actually. Let me post the results here on the top few of these here. And, you know, there's a lot to choose from here. Airbnb's on here as well. I think I want to get that one. I want to get all of them. There's a lot of good ones here. So that's the list I just got for your reference. You can play with this stuff later. I'm going to give you lots of ideas, and then I want to settle on one here. Beginning. And then I'm looking at it.